Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Enigmatica 6. Expert, how are you guys doing today? How's life? I literally just made a hole and I forgot where I made it. Oh, it's here. I just remembered that last episode I forgot to do something very important. I forgot to add a nether star to our friend over here. Also, just before I forget, some of you guys were suggesting that we are not going to need an energy cube over here in order to power the network receiver. I have no idea, but you are probably right, because my knowledge of refined storage is garbage. Although for obvious reasons, I can't remove it because it's also powering XNet. But next time, I will pay attention. But let us get back to our grind for today's episode. I was just checking the recipes and it seems a mob imprisonment tool is something that we should be able to achieve. It's not great, but I only need like one or two. We can also go with a crystal from Occultism, which I cannot find it. Oh, it's this one, the soul gem. Although considering the fact that it has a crazy recipe, we just go with this one, which has a less crazy recipe. I should have Spirit of Calling, yes. That should give us 2 spawner core shells. My bad, I forgot this is 20 bars. So it's just 3 bars of pressure. That really doesn't happen that often. You know, there's always a catch, something stupid. Anyways, this was easy. The reason that I wanted a mob imprisonment tool is that I want a wraith. You know, the guys that are going to give us ectoplasm. Come with me. And while I'm standing here, I might as well gather a few. And I'm guessing the egg would have also been useful. But it's okay, I did need to have a mob imprisonment tool because sometimes I have to move mobs. Based on your recommendations on the previous episode, we want to play around with a little bit of Ars Nouveau. The problem is that I need prismarine crystals, and this recipe is not really great. If the plan works, we are going to get it automatically, but for the moment, this is our best bet. That should be plenty for the moment. I just want to make some relays. Hello? What do you have to sell? Crimson Mosquito Larva. I really don't like Alex's mobs and I left my wireless controller. It was charging up, but I do have a feeling this could be important. Oh, great eye. That's nice. And for the rest, I'm not really interested. So if it's not obvious to you, some of you guys were suggesting that I start making a mob farm using something from Ars Nouveau. I think it's called Drigme. It really has a weird name. But just in case you're curious, this is the guy. I knew that you can have a mob farm with this guy, but the thing that I didn't know is that you can even use hostile mobs. Cause you know, I missed the keyword. Monsters. However, if you look at the recipe, we are going to have a few problems. Wolf pelt is not a problem because I gathered it in autumn. By accident, I also noticed the recipe early on and I did keep a few thief's hood. And apparently it's not something that you can craft. It's okay, you can get it from skeletons, it's not a big deal. The big deal for me is moose's antler. And of course the fact that it's nighttime every 2 minutes. I could be wrong, but I think moose spawn in snowy biomes. You are the cutest thing ever. This seems to be a nice biome. Is that berries? We take some samples, and by sample I meant a sapling. Yes. Oh my goodness. What the hell? Find an infested temple. How? I mean, I know it was Dinnerbone. How did he walk on the roof? Well, most of the dungeons are going to be the same. Let us not get distracted. Yes, the objective. Moose. But I also noticed this. Some of you guys were asking me how the hell am I getting the casings? This is the dungeon. I don't get it from here, I get it from the one next to my base. Did you drop antlers? No. Yeah, you see, they're not that uncommon. Oh, Sandy City. That's nice. Ah, you can't kill them. That is the problem. You have to keep them in the pen until they drop the antlers. I had a spawn egg, it's fine. We are going to take 2 of them home, I think they will breed. I did place them in this room and there's a hopper hawk here, so if they drop antlers, it should be collected. So for getting the antlers, there's not much I can do. It's been a few Minecraft days, but they will drop it randomly every 5 or 6 Minecraft days. So it could take a while. But that doesn't mean that we can't start making our mob farm. When the antlers arrive, then we can automate it. According to the book, the way that these guys work is exactly the same as sylphs and they are going to need source. And we do have a source farm over here. Basically how it works is that we have a spawner with villagers, they will drop into lava, they will ascend to heaven, and as a result, we're going to get a teeny tiny bit of source. Also, the way that I understand it, there are different ways of transferring source. This one doesn't stack because I have already placed it, but if we put it on top of the source link, or actually anywhere I guess, we can hold the domination wand, which does not have a horrible recipe, select the jar, select the relay, and then ask this relay to send it over here. Like so. The range is around 30 blocks, it's not much. Oh, and yes, we have to ask the relay to put it in the jar. You see? we're getting source. Also, I did notice that instead of doing this, maybe we can have a source battery by using a depositor source relay. So if I select you, then select you, and put a few jars which are not linked, it should get filled in, yes. That's nice. And I love the particles. Believe it or not, I'm still waiting for antlers. I had to relocate them and, well, we still don't have it. They're not the best animals in the world. I never liked them anyways. But since I'm still waiting for antlers and I want to use my time productively, well, I have been working on a project. I want to see if there is any possible way that I can automate the occultism ritual. I have already made a modular router, they're a pain to make, and I even made the wrong module. I thought it has to be a player module, but if you want to use it as an auto-clicker, apparently you have to use an activator module. One issue that I have with this guy is that you cannot orient it vertically, so it's always looking at the sides. And considering the fact that we wanted to click on this sacrificial ball, well, all the 4 sides are full. So I have to use an entangled block, I guess, which does seem to work. Anyway, the purpose of this test is to just check if he can right-click the book. If he can right-click the book, the rest I can manage. You can choose look below or above. Okay, then maybe I didn't need an entangled block. Right-click entity? Well, I have tried any option. None of them seem to work. I also have a feeling that you cannot hopper in the book. You can? Oh, it doesn't get activated. Okay. What if you drop it? No, that was stupid anyways. Okay, so I have been doing this for a while. I used the deployer from Create. I did use modular routers, and well, it wasn't working. And then I read this was a bug and it will be fixed in the next update. So let me update and I'll be right back. Well, as it turns out, yes, there was an update. The moment I logged in, it placed the book. You see? I know it's not working, it's supposed to be on pulse mode, but I just wanted to know, can it initiate the ritual? You know, I went with so many crazy things, even a run on corpus. So now the question is, did we get any antlers, or can we proceed with occultism? Jerks! I hate you. You know, for dominance, every 7 to 10 days, they have a chance to drop it. So assuming that I skip every single night, it takes a minimum of 70 minutes for a chance of getting 1. We have such an amazing odds. I just wanted to mention, we got 1. That took ages. I can tell you with 100% accuracy that it has been more than 2 hours. So anyways, since our mob farm has to wait, let us focus on this guy. I think the first thing that you guys have to know is the problem. Let us say, for example, we want to make a few drives and therefore we're going to need some dimensional storage crystal in order to make it. How do we get it? We need to have the dimensional crystal matrix itself. Not the shard. There is an NBT or whatever the hell it is called, and that is the name of the soul which is present inside this block. This is something very specific to occultism. It's supposed to make it look cool, but it does cause a huge problem to your refined storage system or applied energistics. Whenever you want to make the crystal matrix, this name is not going to be the same. Every time it's going to change. So your refined storage system can craft this recipe, but it will never ever get the end result because it's going to have a different name or tag or whatever it's called. The exact same thing goes with the books and also the remaining satchels that we have. And just as an example, I have made a book of binding for a foliote and it has a name. This is the one that we have been testing with. So if I make a new one, it's a different name. So what is the solution? Actually, the solution itself is relatively easy. Well, thankfully refined storage and applied energistics are stupid enough so that we can trick them. It doesn't really have to know the entire process in order to make something, it just needs to know the input and the output. And obviously we don't need the crystal matrix itself, we need the shards, and they don't have any tags. So what we can do is that we just export everything into a new crafting system, craft everything that we want, get the shards, and then import it into our refined storage system, and the system is going to be fine with it. This is why if you pay close attention, you might notice that we have XNet here, and we have connectors under each pedestal. So let us go through this one together, because I think it's going to be slightly complicated, and I did miss a few chalks. So I do have advanced connectors from XNet. You can use any other mod that you want. I'm going to use XNet. On top of them, we're going to place down sacrificial balls. This is going to be the ritual for making the matrix, and I thought it's going to be much more useful than making the one for ender chests. So this one we will do together. You might notice we need 12 ingredients. We have 12 sacrificial balls with connectors. I also put every single item on wood so that I don't accidentally break them. And since being symmetrical is very important, the cable comes from here. So finally we can have our controller, I don't know, somewhere around here, that should be fine. Obviously we are not going to have this janky setup, this is just for demonstration purposes, but the XNet controller needs some power. Also a few other machines that we need to have over here, therefore I'm using some universal cables. Cause you know, we're literally under here. The modular router is going to go in the center, the sacrificial ball on top. Setting has not changed, right? No. So the first item that we are going to craft is either going to be a sequential crafter, which does not have a horrible recipe, or we can also go with crafter tier 1, which has a slightly worse recipe. But I really think RF tools is going to be much better, so let me craft it and I'll be right back. I don't really think we are going to need that many machines over here, but we are going to need at least one crafter and one sawmill. The crafter is going to make us the book of binding, and the sawmill is going to cut the dimensional crystal matrix into the shards. And obviously we also need an input chest and an output chest, which is going to be this one. I don't really want to run a refined storage cable to here, so what we're going to do is that we are going to link it to our stupid system over here. So now let us make a pattern. It's a processing pattern. We need 4 crystal glass, the purple redstone, and I'm guessing it doesn't really matter which kind of corundum we use. We're going to use indigo because it doesn't have any other uses. So theoretically we are done, but we are also going to tell the system to export one book. This is the book of binding for foliot, but it's not bound yet. And the result is going to be 6 of the shards. And remember, not the matrix. So that goes inside the crafter, and if we order one of them, see what happens. Everything should go inside this barrel. Perfect. So the first thing that we need to do is that we're going to go to our XNet controller, we're going to make a channel for items, and we are going to extract the book and obviously put it inside the crafter. So now if I put it inside the barrel, it should go inside the crafter, yes? I'm going to give it my dictionary of spirits. We're going to make a recipe for a bound book, and we should also remember to put this one on external C, because we don't want it to export the dictionary of spirits. That's like our cooking pot. Now we're going to have another channel which we're going to tell export anything that you find in that stupid crafter and insert it into the modular router. Did it go in? Oh, it didn't craft, it doesn't have power. I forgot. So here is some power, and it went in. Perfect. We actually set you to redstone pulse. Yes, that's good. Because we don't want the router to constantly click because it's going to place the book, then pick it up. We don't want it to do that, so we're going to put it on pulse. So now we need to distribute the ingredients. Again, we're going to go to our XNet controller, and obviously we need one item on each pedestal, so that's going to be easy peasy. We just do this. And even if you're not in the mood, you can also put copy and paste. And I just noticed, yes, one person is not connected. And yeah, that messed it up a bit. It's okay. So the filter has been set. If I put the ingredients inside the barrel, all the pedestals are getting the ingredients. We have 4 of each. I also did not pay attention that we're running out of sides. In order to control the modular router, we are going to need an entangled block. Because I need to give it a redstone signal, and if I give it a pulse, nothing happened. But you're on pulse. It's sometimes very important that you have to pay attention what kind of items you need. This is a book of genie, not foliot. It's okay, it's exactly the same concept, but I do have to change the patterns. So I did fix the pattern, and let us see if it works. We're going to order a few shards. We get the items, and also you might notice that the Book of Genie is inside the modular router. And if I give it a redstone pulse, it should start crafting. Yes. Perfect. And we have the matrix. It fell down. But in any case, we are going to have a vacuumulator which is going to pick it up, and then it's going to put it inside the sawmill. We will get the shards, and we can just extract them and put them inside the barrel. And obviously over here at our crazy system, we can have an import bus, we can set a filter for the shards and import it back into the system. And now if I go up, the crafting should also be completed. Didn't you get the shards? I don't know why by default this is on blacklist. It should be on whitelist. But now it's done. Okay. We know how to do that. One more issue that I ran into is that you cannot really send a redstone signal to the modular router using an entangled block. So maybe we need to power this block so that this guy also gets activated. I know modular routers has its own system, but we want to standardize things. Yeah, Create seems to work. I just have a receiver over here which is powering this block. And whenever this block is powered, it will also power the router. Oh, we're out of literally everything to make a vacuumulator. Okay, it's fine, that is a minor detail, we will fix it later on. I did make a vacuumulator, I corrected the patterns, and we also have the modular router on a clock. It's every 12.5 seconds, which I don't think it's going to be enough. I think we go with around 20 seconds. Because the ritual is not the fastest thing in the world. Also, we're going to order 10 of them so that it has to do it at least twice. Just for testing purposes. We're waiting for the timer. It doesn't really have to be a timer, but I just want to see if a timer is easier. It started. There is something wrong with the book, but good, we got the matrix. That should go inside the sawmill, or maybe it was too fast, and yes, we already got the shards. And the second round has already started. Perfect. I'm happy. I'm hoping on another positive note, we're going to have enough antlers. Please. 5. The question is, oh yeah, we need only 2. We're going to have more than one shepherd, but for the moment, I just want to try 1. So 2 wolf pelts, 2 blocks of source gem, 1 hood, 2 antlers, and a very weird stick. And we also don't have that many shards. Thank you, thank you. So the way that I understood this based on the book, we need to have a block of cobblestone over here in the center, and then some sort of an inventory so that they would deposit their items. And obviously source. So if I right click you here, nothing happens. Was it moss? Yeah, it was moss. Hello. You have nothing to do. This is just for testing purposes. We also need some feathers, so you come with me. And we're going to start with a chicken and see what you do. Ah, you're happy now. There is supposed to be a progress bar. I can't really see that. But essentially, the more of these guys we have, the faster we're getting the loot. That one guy is incredibly slow. I thought maybe we should have another one. I had to put mending on it. I don't know how to repair it. Maybe it was just leather. So you, my dear garbage friend, you shall have another friend. Actually, he was working. He gave us some chicken and feathers. Then if that is the case, we need to find the mobs that we want. At this very moment, I'm not exactly sure what kind of mobs we are going to have at our farm over here, but I am sure that we are going to need the passive animals because I love cooking, and maybe we are going to have a fancier kitchen up here. Of course, we are also going to need the mobs from thermal expansion, but I don't think they will fit in a 1x1 block, so maybe I have to reconfigure these. We also don't need it in a very crazy quantity, but we also need some Thrasher's Tooth, so maybe we should have an aquarium for it? Prismarine itself is not very important because I'm already getting it as a byproduct of Emerald. And I was also thinking Guardians are going to drop it, but no, apparently the recipe has been disabled and that's the only way of getting the crystals. All of that being said, I also went up ahead and automated the other ritual. This ritual is going to give us the dimensional storage as well as the satchel. Of course, I haven't automated the satchel yet, it's just for the dimensional storage. And the reason that I did that is that we are really short on drives, and I really want it automated. This is a recipe that we have to use crafters from Create, and somebody suggested that maybe I should try and use a mechanical arm. I didn't know how to do that, I kind of discovered it by accident. I also just wanted to check, the mechanical arm does not work with a chest. Anyways, we select the input, and all 25 crafters are going to be the output. So I'm assuming we can just put you here. So if you deselect the arm, all of your selections are gone. Anyhow, 15 more clicks and I think we're good. Program a mechanical arm with 10 or more output locations. Okay, I still haven't programmed it, but you know. And it seems the way that we have to filter it is to use some funnels. I also have a feeling that normal funnels are acceptable, but we go with brass. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Setting all the filters. Okay, I have set up the filters, everything has power, and this is going to be our input chest. And of course, the depot is our output. I essentially hope that if everything goes according to plan, all the ingredients are going to be sent into this chest, they're going to be funneled to the depot, the armor is going to pick them up, put them into the right slots, and once the crafting is done, it should go into the depot, which we're just going to hopper it into an ender chest. So, we take you, we shall link it over here, and let us order one drive and see what happens. We have all the ingredients, that is good. Oh yeah, we first have to get the dimensional storage. I only made 2 of them, we have to wait for 2 more. That is 1. That is the second one, good. Oh, and by the way, we should remember to extract. Yes, I need more water wheels, this is incredibly slow. You're not paying attention to the filters. I honestly thought that's how you filter it. This one is saying associated entries. Brass funnel is one of them. So I just noticed that yes, it does show you in the pondering option, but I did exactly the same thing. I have a feeling that I should not have selected the crafters, I should have selected the funnels. Is that even a thing? Oh, okay, my bad. Put it in the center. Yes, okay, it works. It's just incredibly slow, I have to add more water wheels or make them more efficient. Which I'm assuming adding more is easier. These are cheap. This is also a very important moment for us, because it's the first time that we're automatically making a drive. We haven't made it yet, but you know, so far so good. Yes, it's ready. And yes, it went into the system. Perfect. We are very short on storage, we needed that. And just out of curiosity, can we have one more? Yes. I already have 4 4K parts, we need 12 more. Oh, it's just glass and cardboard box. Yeah, no, we're good. and everything seems to be functioning according to plan, which is good. Okay, so storage wise, we're not doing that bad. We were actually doing terrible. These were the only ones available. But I was also checking, 16K storage part is not that far away. So maybe that's something that we can get next episode? Oh, no. Don't you worry. It's not that next episode we're just going to make one block. Because in order to make an advanced circuit, we are going to need a dissolution chamber, and this is the recipe for it. And guess what? We also need to process lithium. So I guess next episode is going to be the day of Brian. The fluid. Not the person. But on a very positive note, an advanced control circuit is going to help us by a ton. We are almost at 40,000 RF, just for storage. Anyways, just before we wrap up, I just wanted to mention something. Do you remember that we had a crazy recipe for making the medium machine schematics? That is going to unlock the multi-blocks from immersive engineering for us, and if you guys remember, we need a crazy amount of items. One of those items is treated wood. And as you guys probably know, treated wood requires creosote oil. Well, we do have a few tanks of creosote oil, but we're not even close enough. So I'm passively going to generate some creosote oil. We don't need the coal coke, so you can, I don't know, go to the trash. And we want you to work a teeny tiny bit faster. Yes, much better. That's just one bucket. That's enough in order to make 0.01% of what we need. Anyways, I just wanted to let you know that we are slowly making it, so don't be worried. And the reason that I'm really voiding the coal coke and everything else is because, well, I'm getting a ton of them. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one, bye bye.